I'll go ahead and start another 20 things I sold on eBay video. Figured I'd do the live stream to YouTube again. It's pretty easy. I can just turn it on and go for something like this. Let me just make sure it's working. Okay, yep, says I'm live. That'll work. Alright, so the first one is a pencil sharpener. This isn't a very good one. You'll see it's pretty dirty. And it says like wooden. Does it say wooden? No, it says wood grain. I'm not sure if that's real wood grain or not. But pencil sharpeners are usually pretty good. If you get some of the bigger ones, or is it Panasonic? It's Panasonic, I believe. The Panasonic ones we've sold pretty good. Boston ones are alright too, but these are just kind of generic. As you can see, they only go for about 20 bucks once they're sitting up there. And a lot of times, even if they do sharpen something, it won't sharpen it to a pretty good point. So for the profit you're going to get after you buy it for $2-3 bucks, I don't think it's too great. A lot of these auctions are kind of like that. You'll see like we're top rated seller now, even though we don't do a lot of eBay stuff. It's kind of stuck into the Amazon. You'll see like the business. I think it's 5 business days. Our handling times. We had returns and all that kind of stuff. This was back when we first early started doing eBay. So we were like, oh, we'll sell it for 20 bucks free shipping. That's still profit when you pay $2-3 bucks for it, but a little bit past that now. But pencil sharpeners, pretty good. Here's a tuner. This here, I would assume, sold for 44 bucks, but with the free shipping, these things are pretty heavy. Usually we do pretty good. We usually cut up our own boxes to make them. Usually ship at Smart Post. This is free economy shipping. A lot of times though, home delivery will be cheaper than Smart Post, and I don't think priority is almost never cheaper. Priority usually comes out, actually it depends on where it goes, but say a priority will come out to be, $28-29 bucks to ship it. You go over to Smart Post, it'll be usually anywhere from, 14 to usually around 14 to 23 bucks is Smart Post, and then sometimes home delivery comes in at $13. So that's actually, it's usually pretty good. But we have never once, I'm not gonna say we're the perfect packers and we do make our own boxes, but we have never once had a complaint. You'll probably see us sell a lot of this VCR Tuner stuff throughout all these videos, but we have never once received a damaged package claim or an item that doesn't work. We do test most of them, which the item doesn't work really isn't the shipping problem, but we've actually been pretty lucky. So if you are scared, like, oh, these are bigger items, I don't like doing it, I don't like shipping it, it's not too bad. This year for 45 free shipping, probably wouldn't do that whole free shipping thing again on something like this, but I don't exactly remember where this came from, so it might have been one that we were just trying to get rid of or some room, because as you can see behind you, when you buy a lot of stuff on eBay and don't post it, that's kind of what happens. That's why we like Amazon. Here's a tuner converter box. I think you'll see a lot of these throughout the video too, because we used to pick them up. No remote. You can sell these on Amazon, but you need the remote, usually the original remote. We do usually test these also. Almost every single brand name, I guess you should say, is around 20 bucks, I think, without a remote. And the remote itself is actually worth just as much as the units usually are. Usually pick them up for $2-3 bucks at thrift stores, sell them for 20. We don't usually do it too much anymore. Maybe if there's like a % off coupon or something we can bundle, or if it comes with a remote and it's $3-4 bucks. Units themselves, because sometimes they price them like $9 for the unit themselves, and obviously it's not worth it then. But if you can pick them up cheap, we haven't really been picking them up here lately, just because you can't find the remotes. This was a retail arbitrage item early on here. So they don't have dates. I don't see a date. I don't know. Some of them say sold or shipped maybe by a date. Other ones don't have dates. But this was back when that Civil War movie first came out, or it wasn't even out yet. And some of the Black Panther stuff was going for pretty good money from all the hype throughout that. And this is a Toys R Us exclusive. It's a little battle pack. It's a little cheap one. I think it's like $25 to buy. Maybe it was 30. I don't remember, but I do remember on Amazon there wasn't a listing, I don't think, or there was a listing, but it was like super high rank, and some guy was asking like $50. And on eBay there was actually some solds for this for around 50, but we didn't do, or when we did retail arbitrage, it was mostly for Amazon. So some of these Toys R Us items were scanning, like, man, these are quite a bit. I mean, it's not too bad if you can buy it and then sell it and get it shipped off and get quick. It's not a lot of profit, but for something you can pick off the shelf and sell on eBay, it's not too bad. Haven't had too much luck, as you'll be able to see throughout these, because this was. See, I don't remember, because I don't think we made much profit before. Maybe we took a best offer. I don't think best offers show up on these sold pages. Maybe not. Because for some reason I remember we pretty much did something where we basically almost broke even with this. And a few more things you'll see coming up. But this is a Greenleaf Wonder Hand. Okay, so it's extension cord. You put extension cord in it, you can crank up the extension cord and stick it in here. This was a Goodwill find. It was $4 if I remember right. It does look, as you see, the box is a little bit, not too great, and inside might be a little bit, you look inside and you're like, oh man, that's a lot of stuff. I don't know if I want to count it, but it's really only the main unit, a crank, and another little bag thing there. So it was all there. I don't believe we tested it. No, we definitely didn't test it. We just threw it up there and figured it doesn't have a lot of moving parts and all that stuff. And we take returns. We have no problem with that if it doesn't work. We usually refund them right away, but it worked. Guy was happy with it, I believe. He's one of the ones that left feedback. Here is a Sony Cybershot camera. Here's one. Some of those things you'll see on some of our earlier videos if you watch that we pick up and the prices for them. But this is a camera. We had it for quite a while. I don't think we tested it. We didn't get around to test it. But it came with bags, the camera itself, and quite a lot of accessories and chargers. I think it was like $7 or $11.99 or something if you watched the video, or it was $7.99 or $11.99. We bought it because when we looked it up on, don't remember the Amazon listing, but no, we looked it up on eBay and it was going for a decent amount. And I know a lot of people know about the cameras and video cameras that have night vision. This was one of the cameras that does have night vision on it. So it makes them somewhat popular. And you see, you sold it for $65, and that one has shipping. As far as shipping and non-shipping, we're real random about that. So sometimes we'll throw shipping on it, sometimes we won't. We almost never put it, fast shipping or anything. If we do put shipping, it's economy or FedEx Smart Post. Especially when we first started out, because we heard a lot of stories about the metrics on your eBay account because it wasn't getting checked in at the post office at certain times, or even though you drop it off at the post office, the way their algorithm worked. And we were trying to get top rated at the time, and we didn't do too much eBay, so we just put our handling time whatever was appropriate that we needed, and shipping times was always economy or slow. And I think we still do that now. It doesn't really seem to have too much of a hamper on sales, but we don't do a lot to really test it out too much, but we're happy with it. Here's some power tool batteries. We get a lot of these that are Goodwills for some reason. They put a lot of this stuff in bags, and sometimes they're random prices. Sometimes you'll find these, it'll say $3.99 on the bag for 2 chargers and 2 batteries, and sometimes they'll say $11.99 for like 2 chargers and 1 battery of just some other company. But they're almost always cheap enough to where we almost always pick them up and do real well. Instead, this went for almost $80. And as far as the batteries being tested, we do let them fully charge and see. We do have a few tools around here, but we do not test every single one of them. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, or if you have to or if you don't, but we do fully charge it, make sure that both chargers charge the batteries, and we have not had any complaints yet for those. Plus, they're made for power tools, and if they look they're in good condition like that, you assume it works. Here's one of those jar openers that, that was talking about the last video we sold for $28 You put these up for $27 and they sit. That's the main thing. It's like you might be able to get more money nowadays if we look at the prices and see that we're top rated seller and have all the risk return policy and stuff. Maybe we can ask for more, but I think right now I think we have at least one still sitting in our store. I think for like $27. So they randomly sell, but for the $27, we usually put the free shipping, and it doesn't cost too much to ship them, but it's just the profit margins usually just aren't there unless they're in a box. This here was picked up at a Salvation Army from around here. It's a Sony Walkman mini disc player. We didn't test this. It has like a record function and something else. That function worked. The battery tray wasn't corroded. This was picked up from behind a counter. We seen it. I think, yeah, this one here. This guy actually. This is one of the times that we actually have a little something just sold. We had a little problem for some reason. The guy behind the counter, we don't make it known that we're like resellers or anything, but we don't care if someone asks or we say something. But just looking at it, they had a stack of video games behind the counter you had to look for, and this thing there was back there. We ended up buying a couple of the video games, but we did look them up right there in front of the counter, looking them up. He's kind of just making some comments and stuff. And we actually left and didn't pick this up because I think we kind of seen it once we paid. And I think I looked it up as we're walking out and getting to the car. And then when I started looking up on eBay, because I think it was $7 for it. It was $5 to $7 for it. And we found out we wanted it, so we went back in to get it. And he's like, "Oh, I know what you're going to be doing with this," but his tone and stuff it was kind of funny. But that was that. Did not get a return, so it must have worked. We don't have mini discs or anything sitting around, but to our best of knowledge, it was good. This was early on retail arbitrage. You can see from the sheet picture back there with the pattern. Most of these do have white backgrounds. At least nowadays we do. I'm not sure about these older ones, but hold on a second. Yep, still good. All right. But this is a health and beauty, or I think this was back when health and beauty was like the same category. So I'm trying to say, and you just had to get ungated in one. Then eventually they ended up splitting those off to two separate categories. So this was going to be an Amazon item. I think it was a Target clearance item. It was like $1.78, if I believe right. And then we started, getting a little bit more into the Amazon thing. We kind of seen how they all ungated. You have to put a little bit of work into it to get the invoices and to get all that kind of stuff. And we've seen a couple of these sold on eBay for this amount. And this was back when we had a bunch of stuff that was left over from when my brother used to do it. So we had a lot of stuff to sell. And we didn't really want things just kind of sitting around because we already had stuff sitting around to be able to wait to get ungated in the Amazon thing. And we're still kind of new, just figuring out how it worked in general. So we didn't really want to tackle getting ungated yet. So we threw them up on eBay. And you'll be able to see we sold them $15. I think like I said, we paid under $2 for it. So still made a little bit of profit on it. Not much, but something that I have sitting around. This was bought at a thrift store in Michigan, if I do believe. It's a big thrift store. It's like a 3-story one. It's in like an old church. But this was open package. This was another one that on Amazon they go for a decent amount of money, but when we had an open package, we still weren't the whole condition guidelines. Yeah, it was brand new. Had the instructions, had everything. It was just opened for some reason, but it was going for good money on eBay. So as you can see, we put new other unused packages have been opened, see pictures, took it out, modeled it on a little head so you can see the background. You don't have to be super professional, sell stuff on eBay, but free shipping, $45. It was under a $10 item. I do believe this was part of a lot from that thrift store we did buy. We spent like almost $30, I think, on a few random things that, in hindsight, if you look at it, probably overpaid for the lot, because I think this was probably like the only thing we actually sold in it. Some of the other stuff we tried to sell but ended up donating. But you got your money back just selling that one item. Here's one with a remote, Samsung combo. This here was, I'm not sure. I think we must have still been getting new to FBA. That's why we didn't send it in. This one had the original remote, so you can send these into FBA and get pretty good money. Plus the shipping's cheap-ish. I assume it's cheap. Everything else in FBA is cheap. And you do get returns, I think, probably more on Amazon than you would on eBay for these type of things, because someone searching this out kind of knows the product exactly that they want, where Amazon, they just kind of see the picture and would order it and then would get it and maybe not like it and take it back. Even though you can get returns on these too. but I think you'd have a little bit less returns for some of these electronics on eBay. But it was in pretty good condition. As you can see, we usually try to take pictures of the big problem areas of the items and zoom in. This wasn't a very good, little bit blurry picture, but it was good use condition with the remote. Got 55 bucks. Usually these were all $9.99, and then around here, Goodwills are 40% off every Wednesday. So that's usually when we pick up our combos. So they're usually $10, 40% off. So we don't spend very much at all on them, and we got still used, like before I was saying shipping them, we got used to shipping them, that we're pretty comfortable with shipping them. And this one's 55 free shipping. Unless we got it a little bit cheaper, plus this one had a remote, so we probably could have asked a little bit more. I'm not sure this particular model, but free shipping in these, we usually start pricing them around like 80, 90 if we do free shipping. If not, 55 is fine if you put shipping on it. You still make quite a bit of money. There's another lids off. Different one, same guy, 27 bucks. Already explained something like that. There's another headphone picture. These are some cost headphones. These were just hanging up. Our Goodwills have like some pegboard, usually just like hanging next to the dressing rooms, or electronics where they hang like hair curlers and blow dryers and stuff. These headphones were hanging up there. They don't look, too standout-ish, but you just kind of see them and say, hey, that looks has a weird color, costs. Look up the little part number, look it up, seeing they're like $50 headphones. These were in a little bit, they're in rough shape, tested and working, has wear, see pictures. I guess they're very good pictures now, looking back at your own pictures. But these were you can click on her. They were kind of wore. See, there's right there and right there. They were a little bit worn. But 50 bucks, guy was happy. Here is, make sure I didn't skip one. Here's the grill. This here was a pretty actually quick flip. This was, I think it was a half off. I think they wanted $100 half off, if I'm remembering right, or 75. It was either 75 or 100. We seen it. It looked brand new. I don't want to do that. It looked brand new. It was a little bit high, but it's like, well, you look up on Amazon, don't believe there was a listing, and on eBay, there was like 2 sold for $200, but there was none listed at all. So then you're kind of thinking, well, is this some kind of, like one-off product? Is it a hard-to-find product, or is it just some kind of cheap knockoff thing? That's what I originally thought it was. It was kind of like a cheap knockoff, flea market, low-priced item that people try to sell high. But after just saying, I think my brother was the one that said, I'm going to try it. It was getting into the summertime, or not summer. Well, yeah, it was way before summertime. But it was getting into the kind of warmer weather months. That thought, that guy sold it for that, so let's go ahead and throw it up. So we bought it. It was brand new. I think that might have, no, I don't think I had to really wear anywhere on it. We were kind of worried about shipping it, but from shipping other stuff, we just thought, we'll worry about that later, because shipping, it might seem like it's kind of hard or kind of stressful when you got big things like this or odd shaped boxes, but it's always worked out for us. We never had one shipping problem. And I believe this was only up for not even a week before somebody messaged us and all of a sudden just bought it out of nowhere, and we were like, wow. So it did sell. And we ended up trying to figure out how to get it shipped. I believe it went FedEx. I'm not sure what it went through FedEx. But we got to fit all in one box through FedEx. And when we packed it ourselves and they received it, we got positive feedback about 4 or 5 days later. It said, excellent eBayer, great grill, had one already, hard to find, something like that. So that was a quick, it was either 50 or 75 bucks, right into 200. So that was pretty nice. Here's a Pokemon card. We don't collect Pokemon cards or Magic cards anymore either, but this was, I don't believe I pulled up the tab, but my brother got a Nintendo binder. It's like a school binder, but it has Mario on it, or Nintendo 64, I believe. And it had a few pages of Pokemon cards in it. I believe we got it for like 12, 13 bucks or something at a Great American Garage Sale maybe. But it sat downstairs for quite a while, and we started randomly getting stuff on eBay. We looked at some of the cars. We're kind of looking them up. They weren't really worth $2-3 bucks. And it was only like 3 or 4 pages. Looked this guy up and looked like it was going for like 40, 50 bucks. So yeah, it's pretty easy. Just took it out, and then we sold the binder too. So that's a good used condition and sleeve. It didn't look like anything was wrong with it. And no complaints with that. Here's a Sony Radio, one of those earlier electronics. I don't remember really anything about this. I'm sure we paid $2-3 for it. Sold it for 20 free shipping. We don't do a lot of these Dream Machine radios. There might be some that's worth some, but almost every single time we've picked them up and looked at them, and they're worth around like this 20 free shipping. But some of these you fit in a flat rate padded envelope, but the profit just really isn't there on a lot of these older radios, so we don't really even bother with them anymore until maybe we see something one that's really good or something. Here's one of those weird pickups too. This was at a Goodwill. As you can see, it's very vague on what this is. It's just a black book with not very much writing and then a symbol on it. I originally seen it. It's kind of big. And you can see the Bloodborne here. And I seen it. I thought it was like a vampire book or something, but I just I picked it up and seen this where it said Bloodborne. And I remember that's a game for the PlayStation. Like it was a newer game too, so it's like Bloodborne. Then I started looking at there, and it was a strategy guide. And it said collector's edition, so I just looked it up. I think I tried to look up on Amazon first, looked it up on eBay, and it's like, man, that's going for a lot of money. There are some codes in there, like limited edition codes. Not sure what they do, but I figured that's why people were paying a lot of money for it, was for the codes for in-game items. But just the book itself was going for quite a bit. And this book did have the codes in it, but there's really no way to test if those codes have been redeemed or not, other than redeeming them yourself. So we just went ahead and put no codes, but this guy might have even got his codes. But that was one of our first book purchases and sales, and it wasn't even an Amazon type thing. It was an eBay one. Here's just a bobblehead. Not sure much about this. I think this might have been something that was left over from the years of flea marketing, 2010. Ryan Thierot fishing bobblehead, $20 free shipping. I think he did have like 4 or 5 bobbleheads that I don't even know if we tried to sell them. But when you look them up, they're not really worth too much. We never threw them up. This one here, I guess we decided to throw up, and I guess it sold. Here's another tuner, Magnavox tuner. I think the other ones were Zenith, just same thing. No remotes, 1997. Decent, but not too great. Here's a phone. This was a retro see-through phone. This I think it was around where we were buying a lot of phones, because we just seen it somewhere on the internet saying, phones are pretty good. So you look them up and you're like, man, these are going for quite a bit, and you get them for $2-3. I think that this one did end up getting returned. Don't remember why. I think he said something about, it wasn't really about the item not working. Seemed like it was something petty. We said go ahead and keep it. It was good used condition. We didn't test. Yeah, we did. I think we did test this one, but it was clear. Thought it might have go for a little bit more than it did, but it didn't. Here's a VCR, Panasonic VCRs. These are always good, the Panasonic VCRs. I believe on Amazon they go for $60 to $80, but gotta have a remote. These are easy to kind of pick up, because most of the times you won't find remotes. And throw them up on eBay. This one went for $45, free shipping. These are a lot smaller than combos and all that stuff, but usually the shipping's around the same amount of money. But same kind of deal. Usually the VCRs are priced cheaper though around here. They're usually $6.99 or $7.99 before any percentages off. So you get them for dirt cheap. And Dragon Zord. Here's a retail arbitrage item. This just came out whenever it came out here recently. SSR Dare ended May 9th. This was one of our this is the only auction I think that I've ran since I've been helping doing this. And it was this, and this was it a 1-day auction? It might have been a 2 or 3-day auction. But this just came out right there in the beginning of May. And some of the solds on eBay, if I remember right, were somewhat high. But on Amazon, they were asking like $200 for this. And it had a rank of like 200 and some thousand in toys, which is not a great rank, but that's, pretty decent for something that's priced that high. And I figure since it just came out, and I believe they're 80 in store, they're $79. So we ended up buying 3 off. I think they had 3, and we ended up buying all 3 of them. One of the boxes were pretty destroyed, so we didn't buy that 3rd one. This here, as you can see the background, we took the picture of it in the truck to put it up for auction, and that's what it ended up going for. I only went for $103 plus the $7 shipping, so we paid $80, plus the tax, plus this, plus the fees. You're not making anything, but it was just one of those risks that we said, hey, it's a limited edition thing, just came out. Some people are paying a little bit high for it. Let's just throw it up for auction and see what happens. We sent the other 2 into Amazon, and I think they're probably still sitting in there. That was May. So about 2. They've been sitting in there for about 2 months. I'm not sure what the price is. I'm sure we didn't lower the price to what they were at. I'm sure if you did sell them on Amazon at the current price, you'd probably come pretty close to breaking even or making a few bucks. But I think we're just kind of waiting out, maybe see, where it would go. But I don't think the price ever kind of rebounded for anything too high. And let's just go to the last one. It is the Toshiba phone. A lot of these office phones are, it's office phones. So you look them up, they're worth quite a bit. A lot of the ones on eBay, they go for bundles. If you go to the sold listings, they bundle 10 of them together for $1,000 or whatever. This here was just $25 free shipping. I'm sure we paid, $2-3 for it. And they're easy to ship, and we have a lot. We do a lot of phones here. Just especially yesterday, we got a couple messages about, we sell a lot of the wireless ones, as you'll probably see in future videos as I show these. They're like expansions on your headset, so you got to do some work by yourself to add it to make sure it works as far as re-registering, registering, and stuff like that. And people usually message us about how to do it or stuff like that. That's one of the main reasons why we haven't sent any of the landline phones into Amazon, is because the whole factory setting them, it's kind of difficult when you look at the manuals and stuff. They don't really say you can just like factory reset the whole thing back to like how you newly got it. And some of them are in different languages when we get them that are configured. And we just figure the whole customer service side of things, where people are just going to return them if they don't know how to use them. So we thought we'd throw them up on eBay, just port them out on eBay, and give them what they are. But it's actually been working out pretty good. We've made a lot more money on the phone. Oh, I mean, we've profited, plenty of money on the phones that we've already sold, and it's more than paid for all the phones that we're picking up now. But this whole customer service thing is getting a little bit annoying, but I guess that's what you got to deal with sometimes on eBay. But there's some stuff that we sold, about 23 more items. We made it through, some 2 months ago, so we got 2 more months at eBay. We don't do a lot, as you can see, our feedback. My webcam's probably in the way. But we only got 300 and some feedback. It's all positive, top rated. But we usually only sell, I don't know, 14, 15 items, maybe a week. I'm trying to think. Usually over the weekend we get, 9 to 11, 12 sales. And throughout the week they're kind of scattered in there. We are trying to scale that up a little bit more, because we do like the whole fast money on eBay, since you instantly get the money. But we're working on it. But I thought I should show you that. We got the rest of that stuff. The Amazon box packed out. It's 9:30. We got about 10 things, I think, to ship from eBay, and there's plenty of eBay auctions need to go up. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and bye.